Good morning, students. Today's session is for BBA third year HR specialized student, and it is for your third HR specialization, that is for Human Resource Development Principles and Practices. Today I will discuss HRD, the second portion of HRD practices in Indian industry, and after that I will discuss the challenges before an HRD manager. In my last class, I discussed the role and significance of HRD, and after that, I discussed few points of HRD practices in Indian industry. So today we will cover the second portion of HRD practices in Indian industries. So before starting today's concept, I want to remind you the few points whatever I told you in my last class. In my last class, I told you that HRD is not a recent origin. It came into existence after Industrial Revolution and after introduction of LPG policy, HRD gained much importance. So it is not a recent origin. First, HRD was introduced by MRF in the year 1957. Means in the year 1957, Madras Rubber Factory created a separate HRD department, and the responsibility of that department was to look after the developmental aspects of human resource. And after that, in the year 1975, L&T introduced the concept of HRD and the practices of HRD, the policies of HRD in its industry, in its organization. And the main intention of L&T for introducing the concept of HRD is to develop the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of human resource. And after that, many organizations introduced the concept of HRD in their industries. And in late 70s, a workshop was organized by XLRI in Jamshedpur. And the main intention of this workshop is to provide the importance or provide the importance of HRD in Indian industry. Means in that workshop, it was realized that how HRD is important to a Indian industry. And after that, many researcher or many organizations try to research on HRD, and many organizations introduce the concept of HRD, the policies of HRD in their industry for developing the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of human resource. In the year of 1987, many organizations started researching on HRD. So, for their research, the organization took 29 companies by considering or by taking 29 organizations. Some research organizations started their experiment, and they took 29 organizations. Out of 29, they took 5 from public sector organization and 24 from private sector organization. And by taking taking these 29 companies, some organizations started researching over HRD, and they identified few points related to a few things related to HRD. Is that they identified that 12 organizations out of 29 organizations having a separate HRD department, and rest organization simply rename their HRM department as HRD department. And these bodies identified that the organization implement the concept and principles of HRD, which having diversified portfolio of product. Means if an organization having number of products, number of products, then that organization implements the concept of HRD. So after that, many public sector organization and many private sector organization also introduced the concept of HRD. And after introduction of LPG policy, HRD concept gained much importance. HRD gained more and more importance. Many industry tries to introduce the concept of HRD because every organization want to develop those human resources skills, knowledge, and capabilities. And many domestic industry as well as foreign industries also introduce the concept of HRD in their organizations. Many domestic industries like SAIL, HAL, again SBI, Wipro also introduced the concept of HRD after introduction of LPG policy by Indian government. And many foreign industries, many foreign companies like IBM, Xerox, Motorola, and Intel. They also introduced the concept of HRD. So initially I told you that HRD is not only important for the important for micro level, it is also important in macro level. Means HRD principles is not only practiced in micro level, means in company level. HRD principles also practiced in national level, that is in macro level. So in national level means India also introduced the concept of HRD for developing the knowledge, for developing the skills of human resource of a country, human resource of the Indian country. So for that reason, India created a separate portfolio for developing the human resources skills, that is known as Ministry of HRD. And Ministry of HRD is divided into two parts, that is Department of School Education and Department of Higher Secondary Education. So these department's intention is to develop the knowledge, develop the skills of human resources of the country, so that the quality of the country can be improved. So these things we covered in our last class. Today today we will discuss the second portion of HRD practices in Indian industry. Means today we will cover when which organization introduced the concept of HRD and what are the objective of introducing the concept of HRD and which strategy they adopt for achieving their organizational goal. So now I will discuss various leading organizations year of introducing HRD and what are the objectives of introducing HRD and what strategies they adopt for achieving their organizational objective. So first, Laser and Turbo, that is L&T, introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1975. So in the year 1975, first L&T introduced the concept of HRD. The main reason for introducing the concept of HRD is to introduce development-oriented performance appraisal system. Means before 1975, whatever the performance appraisal system adopted by the L&T, that did not provide a efficient or perfect system for evaluating the employee's performance. Means before 1975, the organization was not able to identify or the organization was not able to evaluate the employee's performance in a perfect manner, so that the organization was not able to develop the skills, knowledge, and capabilities accordingly. So, for developing the skills, knowledge, and capabilities, it is required for the organization to know the present performance level of the organization, a present level of performance of the human resource. So, for that reason, there should be a proper system of performance appraisal. So, in the year 1975, L&T introduced the concept of HRD. So, main intention of introducing the concept of HRD is to introduce a development-oriented performance appraisal system. Means they want to evaluate the employee's performance in such a way that they can capable to identify the lacunas, the deficiencies of a human resource, and accordingly they can design a suitable training program for that employee, so that the performance of that employee can be improved, and ultimately the organization can able to achieve their their objective. So this is the major goal of L&T, major HRD goal of L&T, and for achieving this goal, L&T adopts different strategies of HRD, or L&T uses different techniques of HRD. So L&T uses integrated HRD system combining performance appraisal, potential appraisal, feedback, counseling, career planning, and training and development and organizational development. Means by using the technique of HRD, that is performance appraisal system and potential appraisal system, L&T capable to identify the employee's present performance level, and the organization can able to identify the employee's potential level, so potential employees potentiality, and accordingly the organization by using various strategies of HRD develop or conduct various training program for that employee, so that the employee's performance can be improved, so that the employee can acquire much knowledge related to different fields, and the lacunas and the problems can be minimized. And they also use the strategy of feedback system and counseling system. Means whatever they conduct, whatever the result they got by conducting a performance appraisal and potential appraisal, they provide feedback to the employees, and through counseling, the organization suggests various advice, and organization suggest various measures to the employee for minimizing the problem and for developing their skills, knowledge, and capabilities, so that the employee's performance can be improved. And at last, the organization use the strategy of career planning also, means by using the HRD strategy, that is career planning. Laser and Turbo identifies different career paths for an employees, and it provides opportunity to a particular employee for grasping that opportunities available to them in their near future. And through or by using various techniques of HRD, LNT develops the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of human resource, and the organization can able to improve the performance of its human resource. So next to LNT, SBI introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1979, and the major intention and the major goal of introducing HRD by SBI is to meet the new challenges. So whatever the challenges SBI faces, to meet these challenges, to overcome various problems, in the year 1979, SBI introduced the concept of HRD. So SBI realized that if the organization having qualitative human resource, if the organization develop the human skills, knowledge, and capabilities, means if that organization develop the potentialities of human resource, then only it is possible for them to meet the challenges given by the competitors. So for meeting the challenges, whatever the requirement they feel, they can able to achieve these things by developing the skills, knowledge, capabilities of human resource. For that reason, SBI introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1979. So for meeting new challenges, SBI adopt different HRD strategies, like they used database manpower planning, means um, they estimate or forecast accurate manpower requirement. They can able to estimate or forecast accurate manpower requirement in terms of quality and quantity by using computerized system, so that at last they can able to identify the exact quantity of human resource when they require, and before that they can procure that employee. So for manpower planning, they used computerized system, and after that they use a strategy of HRD, that is performance appraisal, focusing on individual growth, means HRD sorry SBI adopt another strategy of HRD, that is performance appraisal. Through performance appraisal, SBI can able to identify the employees present performance level, so that the SBI can able to identify that the lacunas, the deficiencies of skill, and accordingly SBI arrange different training and developmental program for that employee, so that the person can able to improve their performance level. And main intention of conducting performance appraisal by SBI was to develop the individual and develop the potentialities of a human resource, and minimizing whatever the lacunas the person's having. So next strategy SBI adopted is that well-defined career path, means next strategy SBI adopt is that by using the career planning technique of HRD, SBI identifies different career path for employee, means SBI identified that how many jobs a person will have in their future, and provides various opportunities to that employee for grasping various high level jobs. And by using HRD, SBI develop the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of a human resource, so that the person can move forward, means the person can able to grasp high level jobs, and person can able to grasp the opportunity provided by the SBI. And and SBI also adopt a strategy of well-organized training system. Means by adopting the concept of HRD, SBI can able to arrange a suitable training program for its human resources, so that the skill, knowledge, and ability can be improved. And at last, SBI adopt a strategy to fulfill their objective, that is OD, organizational development technique. And main intention of introducing organizational development technique is to promote the organizational capabilities to manage the change. Means organizational development's intention is to identify or identify that whatever the organizational culture, whatever the present organizational culture is suitable for utilizing the suitable for utilizing the human resources skills, knowledge and capabilities perfectly or not, or any changes is required. So through the techniques of OD like survey feedback, management by objective, the organization can able to identify whether that culture, whether the prevailing culture is suitable or not, or any modification is required, and accordingly the organization change their environment, change their culture, so that whatever the skills, knowledge and capabilities of a human resource can be better utilized. So um, next organization who adopt the concept of HRD is Crompton Limited. Crompton Limited adopt the concept of HRD in the year 1979 and 1979 and 80. The major intention of introducing the concept of HRD to meet the expansion and diversification program. Whatever the expansion and diversification strategy adopted by Crompton Limited to meet these requirements, the organization required high skilled people and talented, multi-talented people. So for that reason, this organization introduced the concept of HRD. So what strategy they adopt for achieving these objectives, achieving these goals? So they adopt role analysis. Role analysis, we can say that it is a process where the organization defines define defines what role a person has to perform in a particular job, what responsibility, what he has to take, and whom he is to responsible. So in role analysis, a organization describes, explains what role a person has to perform, and after that, Compton adopt a strategy, HRD strategy like team-oriented performance appraisal system. Means Crompton Limited evaluate the employees' performance within a team. Means it gives importance to team-oriented performance appraisal instead of individual performance appraisal, and it provides feedback to a particular team. And performance counseling strategy also adapted by Crompton Limited. Means through counseling, Crompton Limited provides various suggestions to a particular team so that the performance of the team can be improved. And it also adopts a strategy of potential development by using in-basket exercise. Means Crompton Limited identifies the potentialities of a human resource by using a technique that is in-basket exercise. By using in basket exercise means what? In case of in basket exercise, employees are asked to take a file from a basket, and whatever the problems mentioned in that file, he has to solve that one, and accordingly the organization can able to identify the person's potentiality level. So accordingly the organization arrange a suitable developmental program for that employee. These are the various HRT strategy adopted by Crompton Limited. So next, BHEL Bhopal adopt or introduce the concept of HRD in the year 1981. The major objective or major goal of introducing HRD is to improve the production. So for improving the production, organization require high skilled people and talented people. So for that reason, BHEL introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1981. So what strategy this organization adopt? OD initiatives such as management communication meeting, team building, survey feedback, and performance appraisal. Through performance appraisal, through building various teams, and through survey feedback method. What is the survey feedback method? In survey feedback method, organization prepares various questionnaires related to different issues of the organization, and after that, organization collect feedback about these issues from various employees, and organization take action accordingly. So through survey feedback, through performance appraisal, and through building various team, organization means BHEL improve the productivity of the organization. Next, Voltas Limited introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1982 and 83. The major objective of introducing The concept of HRD by Voltas Limited is to develop the human resource for improving the performance. So, main intention is to develop the potentialities of a human resource for improving the performance. What strategy they adopt for achieving this goal? Communication policy aimed at wider participation, regular flow of information, redesigning managerial appraisal system and training. Means this organization gives much importance to participative management. Means lower level and middle level people can able to participate in the strategic decision making process of the organization, so that they can contribute something towards the towards making strategic objective. So strategic objective, and again this organization adopt the strategy of redesigning managerial appraisal system. In case of managerial appraisal, there are different appraisal system for different individual, different level of employees. So organization gives importance to managerial appraisal system. So for that reason, they again redesigned the managerial appraisal system so that they can evaluate the performance of managerial level employees. And by conducting or by organizing various training program, the organization the Voltas Limited developed the employee skill, knowledge, ability, so that employee can able to perform in a perfect way and better way. Next, Indian Oil Corporation Limited introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1983. The main intention is to self-renewal. Means self-renewal means what? Organizations should have to continuously monitorize or continuously visualize that whatever the organizational culture prevail, that is suitable for the organization, or that is suitable for utilizing the skills, the potentialities of a human resource or not, or any modification is required. So in case any modification is required, the organization should have to take immediate step for introducing new things, so that it is possible for the organization to develop their performance. So for achieving this objective, organization adopt various strategies like identification of key performance area by role analysis, survey to measure or original climate. Means they conduct various survey to measure the climate, organization climate, that is suitable for utilizing the developed skills of human resource or not, or any modification is required. Accordingly, they design various systems. Next, Steel Authority of India introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1985. Major objective of introducing HRD is to improve the work culture, optimization of capacity of utilization, increase in productivity, and cost control. So, for achieving these things, Steel Authority of India introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1985. The major HRD strategy adopted by Steel Authority of India for achieving this goal are new performance appraisal system and counseling. Through counseling or by introducing new performance or modern performance appraisal system, they achieve this goal. Next, Sundaram Limited introduced the concept of HRD in the year 1984 and 85. The main intention of introducing HRD is to meet the growth and diversification needs of trained manpower. So whatever the needs that arises to a person, to satisfying these needs, the organization introduced the concept of HRD. So what strategy they adopt for uh, achieving this goal, that is change in organization structure. So they implement a structure where the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of human resources are better utilized, and they adopt the technique of manpower planning, so that they can able to accurately estimate the requirement of human resource in terms of quality and quantity, and developmental oriented performance appraisal system. They also introduce the developmental oriented performance appraisal system, and they also conduct various training program, and they also adopt the career planning technique, and they also verified or modified or revised the reward system. And by modifying and revising the reward system, they attract human resources, and they satisfy the needs of human resource. So these are the various organizations they introduced the concept of HRD in different years. Next, I will discuss HRD for workers. So HRD is important for workers due to various reasons. So now I will discuss for what reason HRD is very important to workers. That is declining productivity. So when organization's productivity decreases, at that time organizations should have to improve should have to improve the performance, should have to improve the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of a human resource so that the productivity can be improved. So, improving the productivity, HRD is necessary for worker. Next, due to withdraw attention of work when the employees are not give much importance to a particular work, means when the attention of the work is divert at that situation, organization required to apply the HRD concept. And obsolescence of stock due to introduction of new technology. If the organization implement new technology, then at that situation the employees are not able to work comfortably, and due to that the stocks may be obsolete. So for preventing the stock, organization should have to provide the training to a particular employee so that they can able to work comfortably with new technology, and the stocks may be prevented from obsolete. Change in motivation. So for motivating a human resource, for retaining a talented human resource, also HRD is necessary. And complexity of organization in terms of size and diversification, means due to diversification or due to the complexity of the organization, means organization adopt different strategy like automation, like robotics, and due to these things organization get more and more complex. So meeting the requirement of the complexity of the organization should have to develop the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of its human resource. So now I will discuss various organizations. Now I'll discuss some examples of different organizations who adopt the concept of HRD. Dr. Reddy Laboratory used the concept of demonstration of concern for workers and workers' consistency in discipline as HRD technique. Means they adopt various techniques of HRD so that they can able so that that organization can able to maintain a harmony, maintain a discipline inside the organization. Steel Authority of India used welfare measure on the job training worker participation as HRD technique to develop the organization. In Steel Authority of India to develop the organization, that organization adopt the HRD concept like welfare measures, on the job training, and workers participation. ITC Limited also use various HRD technique for developing the organization, that is change in remuneration and welfare policies. Means by revising the compensation system of ITC able to retain the talented employee. And Steel Tube of India Limited established worker involvement by introducing the worker participation in management. Means Steel Tube of India gives importance to participative management, means that gives importance to participation of lower level and middle level employee at the strategic decision making process. And BHEL has taken initiatives in improving the quality of work life for workers. And Bharat Electronic Limited introduced the quality circle concept. Quality circle means what? Quality circle, we can say that it is a group of people who having similar jobs meet voluntarily under the supervision of a particular leader, and in their meeting they discuss whatever the problem they face, and they identify the various solutions, they formulate various solutions, and they suggest that solution to the organization. So next I will discuss HRD for service sector. HRD is not only important for manufacturing sector, HRD is also important for service sector. So in India, there are various service sectors like electric department, postal department, hospitals, water supply department, and many service sectors are available in India. So for them also, HRD is also required, because in that department also various employees are appointed, and if that sector want to provide a better customer service, then that organization, that sector must have to implement the HRD concept. So I will explain, or now I will discuss various service sector of India which require the concept of HRD. So first I will discuss the sector of telecommunication. In telecommunication department or telecommunication industry, various peoples work as operator for services like directory inquiry, call assistance, lineman, and accountant for billing. So these people also require some motivation. These people also require some develop skills, knowledge, and potentiality so that they can provide a better service to the customer. So for that industry, some HRD initiatives also required. So what initiatives required for telecom industry? That is to motivate these people to be responsive for customer needs. So organizations should have to, that sector should have to motivate that people so that they can serve better to their customer. To empower these people to take their certain decisions means organizations should have to provide certain level of freedom to that employee, to the to various employees, so that they can able to make their own decision by using their own creativity, own innovative ideas. And to encourage people to give feedback to higher level means organizations should have to encourage these people to give feedback to the higher level, so that whatever the problems can be minimized. Rewarded these people for suggesting way of simplifying procedure means if these people provide a simplified procedure for performing a task, then that employee should be rewarded, so that the person can be motivated. And to carefully identify the training needs of these people means organizations should have to identify the deficiencies of skill of these people, and accordingly if that sector of that organization develop a training program for that employee, then the person can be able to work comfortably. Next, I will discuss another service sector of India, that is bus transportation. In India, nearly 80% people lives in village, and bus transportation is a powerful medium of mode of mode of communication to that people. So, in bus transportation sector, many people are engaged, and they also require some developmental things. They also have to improve their knowledge, so that they can able to serve their customer, serve the people in a perfect way, in a better way. So for bus transportation sector, HRD initiatives also required. Means what initiatives is required in case of bus transportation? Generally, this industry is highly labor intensive. Drivers, conductors have very low education. Means organizations should have to, or the government should have to arrange some educational program for the labor and for that employee, and strategies should have to made to attract them for participating in that educational program. And there should be improvement in quality of work life of employees, and institute should be established to provide transport specific training. Means organization or in Indian government should have to establish some institution where these employees can able to get a specific training related to transportation, so that they can able to provide better service to the customer. Next, I will discuss another service sector of India, that is railway. So railway have a rigid hierarchical structure, and there is a lack of professionalism in safety, cost control, and material management. In railway, some HRD initiatives are also needed. That is, there is need to give more authority to the employees. Means organization or Indian government should have to give proper authority to the employees, so that they can take their own decision. Better planning is also required. Analyze the recruitment policy more systematically. Means this sector should have to analyze the recruitment policy in a scientific and a systematic manner, so that they can able to attract talented candidates, train workers in customer care. So organization of the Indian government should have to train the workers who are appointed in customer care, so that they provide better service to the customer. Start quality circle. Means Indian government should have to implement the concept of quality circle, so that whatever the problems the employees faces, generally they can able to identify this thing, and they can able to provide some suggestive measure, some corrective measure to the government, and emphasize greater worker participation. Means this sector should have to give importance to the worker participation in the strategic decision making, so that the workers creativity, innovative idea can be able to use by this sector. So this is all about um, HRD practices in Indian industry. HRD is practiced not only in manufacturing sector, but also practiced in service sector. Now we'll discuss another topic of HRD, that is challenges before an HRD manager. So HRD manager faces various challenges like strategy driven. Means he has to work closely with CEO. Means whatever the strategy prepared in top management, accordingly he has to design various strategies for different people for different levels, so that his strategies can be matched with the organizational strategy, and it is a challenge for an HRD manager. Next, innovative and result oriented. HRD manager must have to be an innovative one. He has to innovate various ideas, various things in such a way that helps to achieve the organizational objective in a better way. So this is a challenge. This is a challenge for HRD manager. He has to conduct various research. Means HRD manager must have the ability to conduct various research, and by applying various research and by conducting various research, he can able to get various knowledge, and by applying various knowledge, the HRD manager can able to motivate a human resource. So motivating a human resource is a challenging task for HRD manager. Next, focusing on audit of human capital. Means HRD manager should have to measure the value, the effort exert by a human in the organization. Generally, HRD considers that human having a lot of potentialities. These potentialities should have to be utilized by the organization, and whether the person utilized all their potentialities in a particular job or not, organization HRD manager must have to measure these things. So he has to focus on audit of human capital, and it is a challenge for HRD manager to accurately measure the effort put by a human resource. Increase in knowledge and image building. So image building means creating a good image of HRD manager in front of other employee is a challenging task for him. He can able to create a positive image in front of other employee if HRD manager gains much knowledge. So gaining different knowledge into different aspects is a challenging task for HRD manager. So building a image in front of employee is a challenging task for HRD manager. Next, greater use of IT as decision making tool. Means whatever the decision taken by HRD manager, these decisions can be taken by using the IT system. So it is a difficult task. It is a difficult task for HRD manager to use IT tool for making various decisions. So for making or for using IT tool, he has to gain much knowledge about this system. After that, he can able to take various decisions, and it is a challenging task for HRD manager. Last, managing diversity. So managing diversity is also a difficult task for HRD manager. In an organization, workforce are diverse. So managing the diverse workforce, minimizing the conflict is a task for HRD manager. He should have to develop strategy in such a way that the organization can able to minimize the conflicts that arises due to diversified workforce. So these are the various challenges a HRD manager generally faces. So this is all about our challenges before an HRD manager, and today we completed our first unit of HRD PP. Thank you.